OK， 好，那我们就紧接着，我们就赶紧来接下来下一场的活动。好，那再一次我先介绍我们的学校。那我们紧接着是由7点50分，其实我们已经7点50分，我们即将要开始的是法国 Isae SUPAERO 航空航天工程高等教育。那这所学校呢是法国国立的高等航空和航天学院。成立于1909年，隶属于法国国防部，是最负盛名的重点法国大学校之一。这个世界上第一个专门的航空航天工程学校，被认为是欧洲在这个领域最好的学校之一。那学校受法国的国防部监管，是一所航空航天跟相关科学领域的高等教育以及科研的机构。那他们的宗旨是在为航空航天工业以及还有这个高科技行业培养高级的工程师和管理人员。那是这个欧洲航空航天领域这个最著名的高等学府。那待会校代会带给我们他们最详细的课程介绍，以及还有申请要求以及程序。当然还有学校的生活以及还有费用等等资讯，请大家一定要待会在听的过程当中，把你的问题以及还有你相关的资讯想请教的都打在我们的下面的 Q&A 问与答的栏位中。我们待会最后请校代来为我们解答。那我们现在就欢迎Justine from Isae SUPAERO 来学校来帮我们做说明。Over to you, Justine。
大家好，我是 Justine de Perry。我会说一点点中文，但是我会继续介绍我们的语言用英文。So I'm Justine. I'm from Isae SUPAERO. So it stands for Aerospace Institute of Higher Education. And what we're going to talk about today, it's about the program, what different programs you're going to have, the possibilities of study at Isae SUPAERO in Toulouse in France, and specializing on the Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering. Now I will share my screen. Okay, so a presentation about the school, Isae SUPAERO, where it is, what does it stand for, specializing on the Master of Science. We're going to talk about the application process, what kind of scholarship you can apply to, and also showing you a bit about our campus and all the facilities. So Isae SUPAERO, nowadays it's one of the world leader in aerospace engineering higher education. We welcome every year more than 40% of foreign students who come to study in Toulouse aerospace engineering. We were founded more than 100 years ago by passionate scientists and who contributed a lot today into the challenges of the aeronautics and the space domains. So one of our mission is to train to train students to be the next leaders, to tackle all those challenges we are facing nowadays, mostly in the air transport, the decarbonization of the aviation, and in the space exploration. Lots of very passionate challenges. We are located in Toulouse. Why Toulouse? Toulouse is nowadays the European capital of aerospace. You will see a bit later, we are surrounded by a lot of companies that take a very important role in this domain. So it's a real asset for our institute because we receive a lot of skills from the companies and benefits for our students as well. And we have different programs, mostly post-bachelor programs. Most of our programs are in English, so whether you speak French or not, you are welcome to come study at Isae SUPAERO. So as I said, we're going to talk about the masters, but also students come to study an advanced master, a PhD, or other short programs that are available. Toulouse is in the south of France. It's a beautiful city. It's mostly interesting in our domain, aerospace, because of the strong opportunities that gives us all the companies that are around. It's also the headquarters of Airbus. So a lot of people from the world come here to work for Airbus, and also all those other companies that are also our partners. You have Liebherr, Safran, Thales, Airbus Defence and Space, a lot of laboratories as well, who are tackling the research domain. So very interesting opportunities. Those are our partners that you can see here. We already talked about a few of them. They are important for some of them come to teach in our programs. We receive a lot of professionals that teach in different programs at Isae SUPAERO, and they'll also share with us their industrial needs so that we train in the engineers according to what industrial needs. This is very important, this link that we have with the industrial world, so that our engineers, when they come out of with their degree in hand, they can be already ready to work for those companies in the domains particularly that they need. Here you can see a few of our alumni, women and men. I insist on the term women because we always need more women as an engineer. So welcome to some of you who are listening to us today. So we have, for example, Marcel Dassault, who was the founder of Dassault Aviation, Bruno Even, who is the president of Safran Helicopter, some astronauts, and I'm going to talk about it because recently a big news came out. So Thomas Pesquet is one of the famous astronauts, but like yesterday, there have been the selection for the European Space Agency new crew, and 3 of our alumni have been selected for being or astronaut or reserve astronaut. So we are very proud. What do we study at Isae SUPAERO? So once again, it's after a bachelor, or whether you have a bachelor in aerospace engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical, physics, mechatronics, many domains of study will bring you to study aerospace. So you can study inside the Master of Science. We have also advanced masters. So the advanced master is mostly, or you already have a master, or you already have some working experience, like more than 3 years, and you want to specialize for 1 year in one of the domain of the aerospace, but also artificial intelligence, complex systems, manufacturing, digital. We have different domains, about 15 different advanced master programs. So that's also an opportunity. Most of them are in English. Also, the school is famous for the Diplôme d'ingénieur, which is the French engineering school main program. It's in 3 years. It's mostly taught in French. And also we have doctoral programs. Another program, which is called the spring semester, is also fully taught in English. It's a semester from January to June, which welcome mostly students from partner universities, but not only. If you are interested, there's also possibility for students who are not from a partner university. Okay, so that was about globally, the school. Now we're going to focus a bit more about the Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering. Why is this master? It's because we receive a lot of you guys, Taiwanese students, in the master. Well, maybe not a lot. I think this year we have 2, last year we have 1 or 2. We will need more of you guys to be part of the program, but we welcome 95% of foreign students in the master. So it's a 2-year program in which you will be able to specialize into one major. So the point of the program is really for the students to be able to create their own curriculum. You all will come from a different background, whether it is electronics, mechanical, digital, telecommunications. So you will be interested maybe in different domain of the aerospace engineering. So the 7 majors you see here, they are advanced aerodynamic and propulsion, aerospace structures, aerospace systems and control, embedded systems, space systems, systems engineering, or satellite application and new space. So during the first and second semester, you will study Common Core and technical skills that will be linked to your major. You will also start a research project, which will last for 2 semesters. And then the 4th semester is dedicated to a master thesis that you want to do, whether in a company or in a laboratory. So this program welcomes students from all around the world because it's mostly taught in English. You will not be needed to speak French, to know French to enter the program. However, you will have French class. We think having a few French class is useful when you live for 2 years in France, so that you can communicate with people around you. But it's in English, so the main language you will use is indeed English, which is also the main taught language in the aerospace domain. You will get to work with people from so many different countries that English is nowadays a language we use. We will ask you for an English test certification to pass. I will be entering more detail later. We also have a career center, which is very important to help our students when they have to find their internship, their first job. We'll help them to build their motivation letter, their curriculum. We also organize job dating fairs. We help you to meet them. Sometimes you're going to visit companies. We really, the career center here to create a link between the companies and the students. And as you know, a strong engagement in the ecological transition, because this domain is facing huge challenges, as you know, we really need to find a way to fly in a greener way, which is linked to the decarbonization of the aviation. So that the challenges of our aerospace engineers, they need to find a way that to perform our airplanes so that they can use less fuel and be more ecological, but also a lot of challenges with the new space, so that we can find ways to help our planet to be better. As you know, pollution is a big thing recently, and our satellites, space projects, a lot of projects are organized in this link to improve this domain. Many interesting and passionate projects in this domain. So now let's talk about the class. Like, for you to imagine yourself, we receive every year in this program about 150 students. They come from this year 26 different countries and 97 different universities. So you see a bit here where people come from, and 22% female students, which is not enough, unfortunately. So women, if you hear me, feel free to apply to engineering studies. This is to show you where our students work. So of course, with an aerospace engineering degree, most of them will work in aeronautics or space domain, but not only. You can also work in any kind of transport, like automotive, industry, also some works in the informatic industry, research. Most of them find a job in France after their degree, but 21% are working abroad as well. You can do your internship really anywhere you want. It really depends on the network, your network, the opportunities you will have. And believe me, you'll have many opportunities in this domain. We need a lot of engineers at the moment. And 73.5% were obtaining their position, their job offer, before obtaining their degree. So this is a really good thing. And here you see mostly the main recruiters of our students. So Airbus takes a big part, but also Capgemini Engineering, Safran, Dassault System, European Space Agency for a few, Thales, and the National Space Research Center, which is the CNES. This is to show you a bit of idea about what our students do, whether they are working in the space system engineers or acoustic engineer, flight dynamics engineer, overall aircraft design engineer. So a lot of engineers, of course, but in many different domains of the aerospace domain. Some of them also continue with a PhD. This is the possibility you will have at either SUPAERO or also in other universities at the end of the Master of Science. I see I already have a few questions. I will be happy to answer your questions at the end. Admission, application process mostly, and scholarships, that will be an important subject. So as I said earlier, we welcome students with different backgrounds. Mostly you need a bachelor degree or to be in the last year of your bachelor degree to apply. In what field? So aerospace, mechanical, mechatronics, electronics, electrical systems, or telecommunications, even physics or mathematics are domains we need in the aerospace domain. So there are good background and you can totally apply for the Master of Science if you have that kind of background. How does it work? So every year the master starts in September. So right now we are already receiving applications since October for next year, September 2023. Every year the program, the application process open in October, and you have different sessions till, for the moment it's written till February, but usually it lasts till April, May. A suggestion is to apply in the first application sessions. First of all, because in the first application session, you get to apply to a scholarship, which is useful when you study in France in this program. We're going to talk about tuition fees later. And also to be among the first applicants. We receive a lot of application every year. We're going to take the best applications. And the more you will wait in the year, the less spots will be available. So it is interesting for you, if you really want to do that master, to apply as soon as you can. So right now, the next deadline is the 1st of December. So it's really soon. And it's also the deadline if you want to apply for a scholarship. I'm going to come back about this, but about the scholarship, you have 4 different scholarships that students can apply to. You apply to the scholarship at the end of the application to the master degree. So first you apply to the master degree online by providing your resume, a cover letter, motivation letter, in English, all this, of course, a copy of your highest diploma, or a certificate of enrollment. If you're in your last year of bachelor, you can already apply. We will need your transcripts of all your years of bachelor, whether you did 3 or 4 years of bachelor. We will need 2 letters of recommendations from your professors, from a mentor if you did an internship, at least 1 from your professor, and maybe 1 from someone from the professional world. An English certification, as we talked about. GRE test is not mandatory, but if you have taken it before, you can provide it. And the application fee is about 90 euro. So that's about the application for the Master of Science. And at the end of this process, you will get to apply to one of those 4 scholarships by providing a letter of motivation to each of them. So some of them are a bit specific, so I suggest you adapt your motivation letter if you want to apply to the scholarship program, because providers are different. For example, Airbus Group provide a scholarship which is linked to aeronautics. So you will need to find a major linked with aeronautics. Toulouse Graduate School of Aerospace Engineering, what we call TSAE scholarship, is for students wishing to pursue with a PhD. So you will need to have a background in research, quite important, and also a motivation to continue with research. And the two others is our SUPAERO, so that's from the school. The foundation is from our foundation, our more general scholarship. All scholarships, they provide full tuition fees for the 2 years and a part of living expenses, which goes from 5,000 to 8,000 euro per year. For you to know, tuition fees, it's for 1 year without scholarship is 13,800 euro. So it's a certain amount of money, which when you have a scholarship, it's easier. However, we're still, when you compare to American universities, I think studying in France is a plus because a lower amount of tuition fees and also a lot of advantages when you study in France. We're going to talk about it a bit later, about campus housing, about benefits as a French student, not French, students studying in France. And anyway, about scholarships, these are our scholarships provided by the school, but I really encourage you to check all the possibilities that are open to you as a Taiwanese student, maybe from your government, maybe with Campus France, maybe with companies that may be interesting that you come to study in France, the master degree. So really opened your horizon and knock on a lot of doors. Okay, so I'm done about the application program. I'm going to talk briefly about the campus and all the facilities you can find on campus. So that's the campus from the sky. It's quite big and surrounded by green. We are in the south of Toulouse, but quite close to Toulouse, still like 10 minutes by bicycle. We use a lot of the bicycle on campus. It's very convenient. But also there is a metro, buses, other ways of transport, of course. We have a lot of research equipments, of course, like aeroacoustic wind tunnel, anechoic rooms, a white room specialized in the conception of CubeSats. We have a fleet of light planes, like every student from the master program get to fly once during the 2 years. A drone room, ASOL simulator, flight simulators. So that's rich. The campus, as I said, it's very big. You have 22 hectares of campus, so a lot of infrastructures. Whether you want to live, we have student housing on campus, a bit less than 1,000 rooms. We have a new aerospace library, which you can see here in the bottom. The swimming pool, a lot of sport facilities also available on campus. You can practice any kind of sport if you want. Lots of clubs are open to students, clubs and associations, whether you want to practice different extracurricular activities, whether it's sport, whether it's art, theater, cinema, whether you want to keep being active in technological domains like role modeling, robotics. There is really a very huge list of activities you can do, and we really encourage students to take part in different extracurricular activities. Campus accommodation. So it's very important, you know, that as a foreign student, you will have priority on one of those student room, which is really a good thing when you arrive from abroad, when you don't know how to speak French and you need to book an apartment somewhere. It can be very complicated. So we want to ease this process for you. With the University of Toulouse, we have this service called Toolbox. Toolbox will help you to book in advance your room on campus. They will help you to open a bank account when you arrive, to register to the housing allowance, because you need to know that every student in France have a housing allowance, which reduces the price of rent by 100 euro more or less. It depends on the amount of rent you pay. So they help you with this. They help you with registering in the health security system. A lot of administration process that may be difficult when you don't know anything about how it works in France. So that's a good thing. That's about Toulouse. Toulouse is a very friendly city, big enough to find everything you need. It's been ranked the first student city in France for 2 years in a row, so we're proud of this. It's beautiful. It's called the Pink City for the color of all the buildings, and it's close enough to Paris, an hour 15 by plane. It's also close to the mountains and to the seaside, so students get to do skiing during winter or go to the beach during summer. So it's quite good location, I would say. Here you have my contact. If I may have forgotten some information or you have questions, we're going to talk about it right now. But if you have doubts, if you want to contact me, you can contact me here by email, by Instagram, by WhatsApp. I also have WeChat, but I didn't put it here. But yes, don't hesitate to contact me. I will be happy to answer all your questions starting from now, if you have questions. So maybe I should check by myself the questions. Are the scholarships programs open for advanced master students? That's a good question. And unfortunately, those scholarships are only for master students. There's not yet scholarships available for advanced masters. That may change, but for the moment, no. You need to know that also an advanced master is a very professional oriented degree. So a lot of companies may be interested in those trainings. So if you're interested in one training that may correspond to the needs of a company, I encourage you to discuss with this company and see if you would have the opportunity to have it sponsored, financed, and which way. I realize that we can put 3 choices for the programs for applying to an advanced master. Indeed. What could we do to help us to be selected to our favorite program? So you will be selected to your favorite program. It depends on your background studies, what you studied before, what is your career project you mentioned in your motivation letter. So this would be really to see, it's also a discussion you can have with us. So my colleague Caroline, for example, is specialized in advanced masters. I know she always interacts a lot with students to try to help them achieve their goal and their choice. So don't hesitate to send us your CV and your career goal, I mean your project, so that we can help you and direct you in this. And I have a few questions in Chinese. 我会说中文，但是看不懂，对不起。
That's okay. I can help you with that. I think the first one is if the student, his or her the English ability is not very good, are there any program for language that she can or he can attend?
So English proficiency is very important to enter the program. This will be tested by the certification. You will need to provide us an English certification that will prove us that you have the English level required to follow the program. I'm sure there are many ways for you to study English before applying, online. I know we use Duolingo here, but there's many applications online that can help you to improve your English. Also watch a lot of movies in English. I'm sure there's a lot of possibilities for you. We don't provide this language course before. You must do it by yourself before.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. So what's an internship opportunity? Is it the university or institution will help the student to find it or to match it? Yeah.
Yes, of course. So as I mentioned, we have a career center. The career center is really here to accompany students in their research of internship. So first of all, you will be in contact with all the companies that have an interest in having our interns, contacts with all our alumni network who had already have an internship with these companies and who we know that are recruiting interns. Good information is that as an intern, you are well paid in France. As an engineer, you can expect between 600 minimum and 1,000 euro per month, which is, yeah, I would say around 1,000 euro per month. So this is great. And really Career Center is really helping you to also negotiate and find the best program for matching your interests. Also.
I see. Great. Sounds very good. The student is asking if she had already handed out the application for 2023 courses. If she got rejected this year, how many times can she or he apply?
Very good question also. So you can apply once per year only. So unfortunately, if your application is not selected this year, you will have to wait for the next year if you want to apply again. Even if you change program, it's only an application once per year. Is that the question? I think so. So yeah.
How many times that she can apply? Yeah.
Something I would like to specify also is that a lot of students are stopped by the English certification that they may not have had the time to do it before applying. It's okay. If you want to apply for a scholarship before the 1st of December, we will ask you to have a complete application, including the English test, to be selected for a scholarship. However, if you may not have your English certification, you can be admitted into the program at the condition of providing an English test later. This will not block your admission into the program.
Right.
So if you don't have time to have pass your English certification now, you're free to apply. You will still be, your application will still be considered for the admission committee of January. Yes.
I see. Sounds pretty good and also flexible for the student when they are preparing for the document for the application. Yeah. So for what's my question? Yeah, I was thinking one of the question. Yeah, for the program that they apply to or the scholarship that if they want to apply to, does the working experiences may be important for their application?
So it depends. We have students who have very few working experience, some of them who have a little. What is important, I think, is the motivation and the passion of the students. When you study aerospace engineering, it's not a why not? No, it's because you really have an orientation, a plan, a career plan, and we need to see this in your motivation. So if you're passionate about this, it means you studied before in your bachelor, you had research project in this area. We want to see that you already have a little foot maybe in the aerospace domain, whether you studied on your own, whether you did some research, whether you, yes, it's good to show that you show interest in this program and you have been thinking about it in your career plan. So we can see this in your CV or motivation letter.
That's true. That's true. Okay. The student asking if she or he wants to continue a PhD over there, will he or she require a French certification like the DELF or DELF?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. We have.
Thank you.
Yeah, not necessarily. We have students who don't specifically speak French, who are doing a PhD and they write in English. So that's absolutely possible. Mostly in the aerospace domain, your thesis needs to be read by most of the people on Earth. So English will be the most important language. But once again, if after the master degree you want to do a PhD, you may have had a few knowledge of French because you will be studying French as part of the curriculum and you will have been lived in France for a while. So you will have a little level of French, I guess. but you will not be required to type all your thesis in French, luckily.
But
Yes.
maybe not in the oral exam in France either, right?
No, neither.
Okay.
It really depends. If you're fluent in French and you want to use French, feel free. If not, you can definitely use English.
Sure, of course.
Yes.
So I saw from the program that you have the courses about drone. So nowadays, flying drone is quite popular, or like the subject or the program. Are there opportunity maybe for the student? They can also obtain the drone certificate or the license. They can actually control the drone.
Absolutely. They can pass the license of flying a drone here. I don't have a lot of details about this, but we have that drone room in which they are all welcome to fly their drones. They are studying how to fly a drone, all the technology around it. So I guess this is one of the options they can take. And they have to select different electives according to their major, so specific courses will lead them to the drone flying environment, etc.
Right, cool. So I guess during their study on campus, and there's also like many big or small job fair or career fair that will be happening on campus, right?
Absolutely. We all often welcome industrials to come to job fairs on campus. So it's really great for the students to come with their CV, interact. If they come, it's because there is a need. And in the industrial and aerospace engineering world recently, there is a lot of needs. So they come here on job fairs. They also do some presentation. As I said, we organize factory visits. A lot of those also industrial come teach in our program. So yes, you will have the possibility, students have the possibility to interact with them and check if there is any possibility. They also share with us all their job needs, and we have this application called I don't have the name, but we have this special network where our companies send us all their needs, their job available, and we share it on that platform where all students have access. So yes.
Wow, sounds very good. So I saw
teasing. I think it's job teaser. Job teaser. That's the name. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a lot of from your program that lots of alumni from your institution has their own company after they graduate. Does that mean the school or the institution will helping the student to maybe set up or start up, maybe set up their own business in school?
This is something encouraged recently, and a lot of students take this opportunity. It's really different. They will have many opportunities after their degree. Some go to the industry, some go to the research, some want to create their own company. And that's something we help them with. We have this enough space on campus. It's a really cool building where students go mostly to create. It's about create their or prototypes or research on an idea. And we also host on the second floor all the startups. So all the enough space workers, they are trained to help our students who have a project and want to concretize these projects. So this is a really good thing, because when you start from afresh, you need sometimes a guidance, right? So this space is prepared and planned for them, and to give them a little push on their projects, indeed. There is also an advanced master called management, project management and innovation, which is really focused in this domain. They actually all get to create their own company, their own project during the 1-year master, advanced master. So most of them are actually be part of this enough space to create their startup.
Well, yeah, I think that's definitely a new trend right now. And when a student is studying for that, and then they also have some business in project or business proposal in their mind already. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's great that institution can be useful and helpful to the students.
And the French government also really encourage this, and there are different plans that they can apply to help them financially. So
that's great. Sounds really great. Okay, we got one last question here. A student is asking, when the result comes out, how late could they know, and could they pay for the tuition before they are disqualified?
That's a very good question. I can maybe come back on here. So here you see online on the admission page, you have different deadlines. For example, for the first session, you apply before the 1st of December, and you will get the admission results the 20th of January. That means if you are admitted on the 20th of January, you will be given another deadline in which you need to register, which will give you about 3 weeks. You will have 3 weeks to confirm your admission, like confirm that, yes, I want to come in September. So how do you confirm? This is something I should always remind students. To confirm your admission, you need to make a prepayment on the total tuition fees of €1,000. So this is something we will ask you to anticipate to make sure you want to come, and we book for you this spot into the Master of Science. And this is the same for Advanced Master as well. So you will have 3 weeks to confirm. To confirm you are online, you answer a few details, and you make a prepayment deducted from the final tuition fees of €1,000. Then the time will pass. We will be a lot in contact because we have a WhatsApp group with all admitted students. We share a lot of information about how the first steps will work, about the visa. Also, we are all in contact with other students as well. And in September, you should be ready to pay for the tuition fees. So tuition fees are payable or in one time or in 3 times, one divided once per month. So usually students use September, October, November to pay their tuition fees without any extra fees.
Wow,
so, yes.
that's really flexible and also very thoughtful for the student as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
but it's true, this is something to anticipate. Those are €1,000 may not be as easy to extract from a bank account like this, so anticipate.
That's right. Great. So, 好，如果各位还有其他的问题的话，欢迎大家继续的把你的问题打到我们的 Q&A 栏位上。我们还有几分钟的时间，可以再来请教我们的校代。So does your institution also join the Erasmus scholarship?
So Erasmus scholarship will be used in case you have an exchange program, including in the program. In these 2 years of master, you have no time to do an exchange program. We use Erasmus also with our partner universities. So some as an exchange program, you can send students with the Erasmus scholarship. And we also have a double degree for the Master of Science. The Master of Science can be done 1 year at Munich, Technical University of Munich, and 1 year at Isae SUPAERO in the 2nd year of the master. It's a double degree which specialized in systems engineering. So which means you will enter the major systems engineering only, not any other choice. And in this program, we send the students into Munich with the Erasmus scholarship program. However, they cannot apply to the other scholarships that are planned for the 2 years at Isae SUPAERO. So it's a little particular.
Right. Cool. So are there like the short term, like the certificate or diploma courses that in your institution?
Yeah. What do you mean? Other scholarships for those programs?
Not with the scholarship, maybe just a short term, like the certificate or like 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months. Yeah.
Well, we do have certificates program, mostly for professionals who
Mm.
would want to, definitely who would want to study this specific skill because they need it for their company. So usually it's an agreement with the student and the company, and we organize. Sometimes we can also make a very personalized certificate for special needs that the industry would need.
Yeah.
So this is possible, definitely. It's not specialized here, but it's usually a module from an advanced master's from one of the 15 different programs. So students can do a special module part of those master, and it's about 3 months, about a few hours of technical studies. And yes, if any interest about this, I will put you in contact with my colleague Jessica, who is related to this.
I see. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, I think some of your program might be very, very interesting by the university, you know, like some of the technical university when they have the specified the either the engineering or the mechanical engineering.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
with the airplane or Airbus. Okay.
Yes, and if students want to be in contact also with Taiwanese students who already did the programs, feel free, because there are a few and they would be very happy. They cannot be here today, but they would be very happy to share their experience with you. So you contact me and I will put you in contact with them.
对，校代说他们学校刚好有一个我们台湾的刚毕业，应该是刚毕业不久的校友正在也是从他们学校毕业，然后现在正在法国工作当中。就是各位如果刚好是对于他们学校有兴趣，也想要跟这位学姐来稍微聊一下，也可以跟我们的校代直接来联系，他可以帮你们连接一下，让你可以有机会可以跟我们台湾的这个学姐来聊一聊他们学校的课程，以及还有在法国的这些生活跟工作的情形。好，那时间差不多了，我们今天非常谢谢。Today we are very, very thanks to Justine for a very informative and detailed information for us, and it's very good to have you. Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure. 谢谢大家。
谢谢大家。好，谢谢大家。那我们今天晚上的说明会就到此告一个段落。那下周还有2天的活动，就是礼拜2、礼拜3。的2天的活动，希望大家还有时间可以再继续来参加我们法国以及还有英国跟比利时的说明会。还没有报名的同学，也请你务必赶紧上我们的官方网站这边来报名。那我们就下个礼拜再见咯。再一次谢谢 Justine，Thank you，
再见，拜拜，
拜拜。